Hello and welcome. I'm Kassia with Intuitive Insights. On this channel, we discuss everything to do with the Ascension process. Today, I'm going to be doing a twin flame reading for Cancer for the month of June. So hello, all my beautiful Cancerians. This is going to be for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising signs, as well as the cross-watcher of the Cancer. If you don't know your whole astrological chart, you can go to a website such as astro.com. If you plug in your birth information, they'll give you a whole rundown of all your planetary placements. Yeah, so this is a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everyone. Don't stretch it to fit. Take what parts resonate, leave the rest. And yeah, we're doing a contest this month. So for the contest, whichever video gets the most comments and likes is going to get a bonus reading from both myself and Kayla for the month of June. So share this with all of your fellow Cancers. Get them to like, get them to comment if it resonates, and you guys will get a bonus video this month. I believe those are all the housekeeping notes that I have to get out of the way before we get started. Yeah, we do videos on pretty much everything to do with the Ascension process. So definitely I encourage everyone always to check out the different playlists after the video and sort of browse through what we have to offer. All right, so we have Cancer, June 2020, Twin Flame. Cancer, June 2020, Twin Flame. Okay, so we have, and I'm not really sure which one of those come in, but we have the base chakra card. So this is the root chakra. This is the center of our security, which is interesting because it came out with the power card. So I'm feeling a lot of empowerment from you guys, like really grounding into your sense of power. This would be like the strength card in the traditional tarot deck. So really becoming more empowered, really feeling more rooted, more secure. You guys have really been focused on your security and building that sense of security within yourselves, right? Like not just like outer security, but really paying attention to like how you can be secure within yourself. I'm feeling codependency. So I'm feeling as though some of you were healing some issues around codependency as well. And just like really learning how to establish yourself and learning interdependence as opposed to codependence. And we have emotional withdrawal, which is the 8 of Cups. So some of you guys may have been leaving behind situations and people where you were experiencing codependency, or where people were either overly dependent upon you or you were overly dependent upon other people. And you've sort of been in a process of like regaining your sovereignty, right? I mean, Cancer, you're a very intuitive sign, you're a very emotional sign, you're very empathetic, you're very connected to other people, right? And sometimes you need to do this. This is like when you withdraw into your shell, right? Like you need to withdraw for a little bit and just get really centered and firm in your own energy. And so you guys are really doing that. You're really reclaiming your power. You're really withdrawing so that you can understand situations without all of the energies of the situations and other people's energies sort of like clogging up your ability to be in contact with your own intuition. And you're really learning how to create a life and a world for yourself that's really firm and that you can feel really good about. And like this is going to lead to the fulfillment. This is like the 9 of Cups, right? The fulfillment of all of your wishes. All of that good stuff. Like I'm feeling there is a major wish that's going to be granted for you guys. And part of the reason that this wish hadn't been granted yet and this hadn't been fulfilled was because you needed to learn how to step into your own power first. You needed to learn how to become, like I'm feeling manifestation, like really well physically manifested through your own means, like through just having that, like not needing to be dependent upon anyone else for emotional security, for financial security, for any of that, and just really learning how to own that and stand firm in that on your own. And now that you're learning how to do this, you're unlocking this wish. this, whatever it was, something that you've been hoping for, something that you've been praying for, like that energy is going to come in because you're drawing that in by stepping into your power. And we also have the universe card on the bottom of the deck. So this is, I'm feeling for you guys, like the end of a major cycle. The end of a major cycle of giving your power away. The end of a major cycle of relying on other people for emotional fulfillment, relying on outside things. Like you're learning how to be well manifested, but you're also learning how to not rely on those things for your emotional well-being. And so you're clearing up that major cycle, and that's bringing in like all the blessings. It's unlocking all of those blessings that were waiting for you once you learned how to do that. Yeah. So that's what I'm getting here as far as like what your journey has been like that you've been sort of going through. Yeah, and how this relates to the twin flame journey. I mean, this could be part of, for some of you, like this could be part of a separation and the things that you needed to learn during that separation period. And some of these wish fulfillment could have to do with your divine feminine or your divine masculine. But you really had to go and you had to learn how to do that. And if you are in a partnership or a union of any kind with your counterpart, this is a process that you had to go through in order to be in a healthier relationship with them. Like that, what I said about the whole codependence versus interdependence, and sort of figuring out that. And then we have the Emperor at the bottom of the deck, like stepping into your personal authority, stepping into your personal empowerment, like really, really becoming that energy. And as we become that energy, we become a vibrational match for that energy as well. And transformation, the Death card. So this was a huge transformative cycle for you guys that you went through. And it's just a really empowering cycle. So we have here for energies, we have Leo energy, we have Aries energy, and we have Scorpio energy coming through. And then movements, choices, and decisions. So there's going to be some options now. As these wishes are manifesting, as you've unlocked the floodgates to your abundance in some ways by completing this cycle, like you're going to have some options and you're going to have some choices. And I'm also seeing just like the chakra colors, and this isn't quite in order of the chakra colors, but I'm seeing this like this opening up of a lot of your chakras. And this initiation also of like, it's reminding me of the rainbow light body. So it's really stepping you up in terms of your spiritual condition as well, and your ascension process. Like this was a key phase of your ascension process, as you've worked through those issues of trust, you've worked through those issues of scarcity, you've worked through all of that stuff that we talked about, and now like you're being presented with some options, and you've really leveled up in terms of your ascension process. And then we also have the Empress on the bottom of the deck, which is interesting, right? And in this card they call her fertility, because the authority, the Emperor, would be number 4, and then we have the Empress. So we have the Empress and the Emperor, so we have counterparts here. So you may, and it's really cool if you see how he's got the circle around his head and then she's got the 2 circles, right? Yeah. And then all together there's 3. And so, yeah, like you two are becoming a vibrational match for each other as far as your counterpart goes. So if you're together, this is going to strengthen your union. And if you're in separation, like this process is calling your counterpart back in. This process is calling your counterpart back in because you two have become a vibrational match for each other. Yeah. And then we have heartache and loss on the bottom of the deck, which is interesting because it's next to fertility. So we have 3-3. So like this may have been some of that process as well for you guys, of what you had to go through, was just experiencing that heartbreak, experiencing that loss, having to let go. There was a lesson here for a lot of you as well about having to let go. Having to let go and having to surrender. But then we have harmony underneath that. And then we have balance as well. So, yeah. That's good stuff. Balance would be, I believe that would be the Justice card. And then we have Harmony, which I believe would be, I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank on what the Harmony card would be now. The Lovers. That would be the Lovers. So, yeah, definitely manifesting union. Like, you guys are drawing each other's energy in. And this, I'm being drawn to how in the Justice card, it's like an angel, right? He looks like a guardian angel. So I feel like your angels are playing a part in this process as well. They're helping to heal this heartbreak. Like, you claiming your inner authority has helped to, like, this heartbreak for some of you helped push you into this process as well. And like, you're claiming your inner authority, you're achieving balance. There is justice going to be brought to a situation. In any areas where there is anything holding you back from connecting with each other, justice, like divine justice, will occur and will help to set things right. And you two will be able to set things right with each other and really just come into this beautiful, harmonious, like, union type energy, because you're ready now. Like, you weren't ready before, but now you are. So that's pretty cool. And then we also have the third eye chakra, really your intuition. Like, as you're learning how to ground yourself and you're learning how to feel more stable, you're also opening up your connection to your intuition on a whole other level. And there are partnerships and alliances moving forward that you're going to bring in. Like, we could just keep going for this whatever, right? We got memories of love. So memories, really thinking about your counterpart. Possibly this is like past life soulmate energy, drawing back in, thinking about this. Like, to me, the three, what is this? The Three of Wands, I think. I don't know why I always try to do this, because I always get confused when I do. But it's like partnerships and alliances, like, partnerships and alliances, soul contracts, mission, all of that stuff. Like, you're drawing all of that in, and that's going to bring prosperity. Prosperity begins and accelerated motion. It's just, things are, as you feel into this energy, as you step into your inner sovereignty, and you really start feeling empowered, and you really start connecting with your intuition and being able to create, like, manifest and create on a whole other level, because you've healed that root chakra and you've stepped into that emperor type mode, right? Like that emperor empress type mode. And you're thinking about this mission, you're thinking about your counterpart, you're thinking about all of that. Like, that is, I notice it's like she's wishing on a star, right? Like, you wished upon a star, and those wishes, it comes back to those wishes again, right? Like, those wishes are going to be coming true. Like, the time has come for that. And then we have passion ignited, Ace of Wands, and spiritual union, Two of Cups. So, yeah. Your energy is drawing them in. And so we're going to do a couple of these cards for you guys, actually. For my Cancers for June 2020 Twin Flame, let's get some energy for the feminine, energy for the divine feminine. Energy for the divine feminine. Cancer 2020. Divine feminine. Cancer, June 2020. Interesting. So we have the Page of Swords here. So this is being really curious. This is like, we're in Gemini season now, right? So this is like a very Gemini type energy. And if we didn't wish you guys a happy birthday month, then wait, that was a little while ago. Time is just, I don't know what's going on with time. No, that hasn't happened yet. Oh my God, never mind. I even said that. We will be wishing you a happy birthday month when that comes. Oh my God, you guys, your birthday's coming up next. So Never mind all that. But you guys are gathering information. You guys are in that student mode. You're in that curious Gemini type energy. You're really embodying that Gemini season energy. You're really wanting to learn and understand more. And I'm seeing the birds here. And I feel as though you're getting a lot of help in that department. You're getting a lot of messages from Spirit. Spirit's really, really trying to help you out as far as like gaining all of this information. And you're kind of like, you're in your own little world right now. You're hidden away in this little bubble. You're chilling, you're meditating. It's like all of this chaos doesn't bother you anymore because, like we said, you found your inner security. So you're not worried about all of this outside noise. You've really learned how to find your center, how to find your strength and your center during chaos. And so you're just like chilling and relaxing in that space, like not worried about, this is you learning how to put up that psychic shield and really that process of like emotional withdrawal that we talked about and going within and sort of like learning how to shelter yourself and not be so affected by those outside energies. And then we have the Seven of Cups, which can be, this is confusion. He's got all these cups. He doesn't know what to choose. So I feel like this is an energy that you guys are going to be moving into as these wishes start coming true, as now that you've come into this new energy, this new, more empowered energy, and that those wishes are being unlocked and sort of like the energy is moving towards you. Like you're going to have a lot of options and you may be in this place of confusion, of not really knowing which path to choose. And I feel like in this drawing, it actually makes me think of the Four of Cups. Sort of like a lot of options, but not really the option that you want initially. And so for some of you, this may have to do with the old wishes coming true that you know, we've been channeling, and realizing that you don't want any of that stuff that you wished for anymore. But what you do want is this. That's what you do want. That's what the feminine does want. And so maybe she's getting all these opportunities, but they're not the opportunities that she thought. And she's not sure if any of those cups are the cups that she's looking for. Yeah. Yeah, or maybe you could be coming out of this confusing energy too. Sorry, gotta adjust that. That could have been the energy that you were in for a really long time. I don't know. That's going to be different. That's going to be different for everyone. Let's get some clarification on the Seven of Cups for the Divine Feminine. Interesting. So we got the Lovers and we got the Hermit, which is Virgo energy. And this is Gemini energy. So it's like, it's really interesting. It's sort of like there's maybe the confusion is over the Two of Cups. Maybe this is interesting. This is an interesting twist. Maybe your masculine comes back in and you're not really sure if you want that anymore or not. Maybe that was the wish that you had, and then that wish starts to manifest, and you guys are a little unsure because you've gotten really comfortable in this bubble, and you've gotten really comfortable really like knowing your own energy and being centered in your own energy, and you don't want to be pulled off course anymore. And so you may sort of pull back a little bit when your masculine comes back in, and not really know what to do. It's sort of like this is going inside again too, right? It's like you've gone inside, you've done the internal work, and you want to make sure that they have done that as well. And so just really being hesitant about that until you know all of the intricacies of the situation. Oh, it's really cool. I never noticed that before. There's a Merkaba in between there. I don't know if you guys can see that. in between their two heads there. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, interesting. All right, let's get some. And then we have a change in perspective on the bottom of the deck. A change of perspective, or a sacrifice. This can sometimes, the Hanged Man can sometimes represent a sacrifice. So I feel for some of you, there may be a sacrifice involved with coming back together with your masculine, and you're not sure if you're ready to make that sacrifice or not. And then we have Temperance, which is patience, it's balance, it's the alchemy, it's creating something new from something old, right? It's being able to understand the intricacies of a situation and being willing to work within that gray area. So that's going to be, there may be that required, there may be sacrifice required, and you're not really sure how you feel about that yet. Yeah. So we're going to leave that right there for now. And then we're going to go to the masculine. Let's talk about the divine masculine. What is the energy for the divine masculine regarding this situation? Okay, so the masculine got the Three of Wands, which is waiting for your ships to come in. But it's like in this picture, it's more like surf's up. So it's like really getting ready to dive right into the surf. To dive, I just thought like dive right into the fire. Like that's where the masculine energy is at. And then we have the Six of Wands, which is triumph and victory, recognition. And we have we have the Judgment card, which is a call to action, a wake-up call. And the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. And the Sun, which is the happiest card on the deck. It's just joy, it's bliss, it's all of the good things in life, right? Just thriving. The Sun is all about thriving. And we have the Eight of Wands, which is movement. Movement, possibly travel. So interesting. On the masculine side here, it's like they're ready to dive into the fire. I feel as though they're feeling a call to act right now, and they're ready to like publicly make their feelings be known. They're ready to step out publicly, and like they're just like their heart is just singing. Like this is once again we have the Nine of Cups, right? Like the wish fulfillment energy. That wish, like they're understanding where their true fulfillment lies, and they're ready to embrace that and be really vocal and be really, really, really honest and really vocal about that in a way that maybe they haven't before. Like they're ready to be in the spotlight. They're ready to be in the spotlight, and they're ready to be in the spotlight with the feminine, I feel like, playing off of this energy, right? And like to really make some movement, like they're feeling called to really move forward, to really make some movement forward, where maybe in the past they were a little bit indecisive. And so yeah, that's really fascinating. Like they're being called, even if this isn't about the feminine, they're being called toward what brings them joy. Like very quickly, like there's a lot of momentous energy moving them forward toward whatever it is that brings them joy, whatever it is that brings them this feeling of being on top of the world, right? Like they're being called toward their mission as well, I think. And this is like the spotlight, like the being heard, being seen, helping other people to be heard and be seen. I'm feeling that for some as well. Like they're feeling a call to do that and really take action around that as well. Yeah. So that's really interesting. And then we have the Queen of Swords on the bottom of the deck. The Queen of Swords and the Four of Swords. And the Nine of Swords. So this is This is a feminine energy. This is a feminine energy who's very, very decisive, who's very swift with the way that she moves. She's very sure with the way that she moves. This is air sign energy, so this is Aquarius, Gemini, Libra energy. This is a feminine energy that can be very, very cutting with their words sometimes. They're very blunt. They're not necessarily the most patient, although in this picture, I always think in this deck, the Queen of Swords seems pretty chill. So it's like she's actually a lot more chill than maybe people perceive her to be, is the energy that I'm getting. And so I'm feeling this process of, well, I'm feeling, for one thing, if this is about the masculine approaching his feminine, then it's like he's a little bit worried that she's going to be in the way that this energy is typically perceived. And he knows that she's done a lot of healing. It's like he can sense that she's in that cocoon right now, that she's in that place of rest. And he's not sure that he wants to disturb her in her nest, right? And so this is causing a little bit of torment because there's so much energy calling him to step forward. And yet he's not really certain. He doesn't want to put her back in that energy again. And he's maybe a little bit afraid of how he's going to be received. So that's causing him to sort of hold back a little bit, to sort of wait a little bit. Yeah. That's mostly what I'm feeling from that. But then we have the Hierophant on the bottom of the deck, which is Taurus energy. But this is like a spiritual enlightenment. This is spiritual mastery. This is just like, yeah, evolving spiritually, learning spiritually. What else am I feeling from this card? I'm feeling, and then we have the Ten of Pentacles with that, which is happy home, stable foundation, stable roots, all of that different stuff. So with these cards together, it makes me think of marriage. So I feel like that's what the masculine is interested in. Is like he's realized where his heart is and he wants to seriously move on that. And like publicly acknowledge that and lock that down. And so if he comes to the feminine with that energy, it will be very interesting because she's sort of like weighing, like, is this the right time? Am I ready for this? Is this what I actually want now? So yeah, that's an interesting dynamic going on right now for sure. Yeah, that's an interesting dynamic going on right now. Okay. So let's do that was a lot of cards. All right. All right, let's do some energy from this deck. See what this deck has to say. Cancer, June 2020, Twin Flame energy, feminine. Okay, so we have abandoned. We have unawakened. We have free will. And then we have soulmate. And so what I'm feeling is, and then we have awakening on the bottom of the deck. So I feel as though the feminine, in this situation, in the past, the feminine felt abandoned. And she had to really work through some of her issues of abandonment. Some of those issues were highlighted by her masculine, if she had a counterpart in the physical, right? And so those were issues, and that's why when we saw like the root chakra healing, right? and the security issues and the codependency issues being worked out and all of that stuff, and stepping into her inner authority. Like, she had to really step into her inner authority and step into her power, and she had to work through these issues of being abandoned. She had to work through a lot of that stuff. And yeah, I feel as though it's interesting because the way that I'm feeling these cards, even though I said for the feminine, is I feel like these were issues. That she had to work through that were mirrored to her, but I feel that these were also issues that the masculine had to work through. And I feel as though one or both parties were unawakened at one point, right? And there was free will because there was still this awakening that needed to take place in these lessons that needed to be learned. Free will, like, we have free will. Like, we don't have to, we come in with a specific idea or a blueprint for our relationship with our twin flame, right? And ultimately, my personal belief is that the goal is union in the physical. Ultimately. I mean, it's about the ascension, right? And it's about us individually ascending. And as long as we help each other to do that, that's beautiful, right? Even if all we do is initially initiate that process of going from unawakened to awakened. However, there is a larger mission as well. And so in order for that, like, that mission doesn't necessarily have to come about by twin flames being in physical union, but of course it's going to be the most effective if they are, right? But there's always free will. Like, that's I went off on that tangent. Like, that's where that comes from, is there's always free will in a situation. We always get to choose. And so when we're unawakened, sometimes when we don't understand what's going on, when we don't understand when these shadowish aspects are coming up that need to be purged, when we don't understand this whole process that's happening, like, sometimes we just choose something else. And sometimes even when we do understand, we choose something else because it's easier. And I feel like this is actually what's going on for the feminine as well, is like, she has the free will. Maybe at some point the masculine had the free will to choose a soulmate instead. And now she feels she has the free will to do the same thing. And she may actually want to do that at this point, because she doesn't want to experience any more of this pain. Like, now that she's grown and she's centered in herself, and she's coming to this point of beginning to awaken, like, it's very possible both counterparts were not awakened when they first met. And the feminine energy herself was not awakened. And yeah, like, she may want to have she may want to utilize her free will to choose a soulmate relationship. There may be a relationship that she has forming right now that feels really good to her, and she doesn't necessarily buy into the concept that twin flames need to be in physical union. And she may not be looking for that right now. But it's interesting because I see the soulmate and it looks like he's kneeling down, like he's going to propose. And we felt that marriage energy coming in. So I don't know. That's all very interesting. I actually want to pull just because, like, why not, right? I want to pull a couple of the Kipper cards for the feminine right now and see what else is going on. Energy for the Cancer, June 2020 feminine. Divine feminine. Okay, interesting. So we got family room and we got sudden wealth. And so there's definitely prosperity coming in for the feminine in the near future. Like, the family room points to the home. It points to the near future. It points to something in our immediate environment. So I'm feeling as though somebody is going to, this is also about her inner security and the inner security that she's built. But that's going to be reflected in her outer world as well. And probably pretty soon. Yeah, I want to look and just see here. Events will come to pass very soon, like you said. Yep. Yeah, you're home. So she's... Yeah. I don't know. Let's get a couple more here. Let's get a couple more for the feminine. Divine Feminine. Got official person and message of concern. So it may also be that the feminine is going to have somebody in her life or in her circle, somebody in some sort of position of authority perhaps, who expresses some concern over her intentions moving forward. Whether this be with her, with this soulmate relationship, or with her divine masculine. There's going to be, she's going to receive some sort of, she's going to receive, I almost feel like a letter or some sort of official document. But I don't know, now with the way these cards are lined up, it almost feels as though she's going to receive like some sort of official document that brings about a sudden increase in wealth or finances. So that's really interesting. One more card. Is there anything to clarify what this is talking about right now? Then we got adjudication. So some sort of ruling, some sort of court ruling possibly, that is going to turn in her favor financially. Yeah, that's all very interesting. That's all very interesting. So this is, I mean, for some of the feminines, it's quite possible that maybe they married somebody else. Or they were in the process of marrying somebody else. And so then their masculine comes back in and they're like, I got all this going on now. Like, I don't know, like, you waited too long. Like, that may be something that's coming up as well. I don't know. This is really fascinating. Let's get some cards for the masculine here. Cards for the masculine. Cancer, June 2020. Cards for the masculine. So we got healing. We got big dreams. Surrender. Settling. And destruction. And then we also have stuck on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like the masculine at some point was willing to settle. There's just, this feels like the Tower card to me right now. Like there was a complete destruction. That whatever it was that he was settling for is no more. He was in this stuck energy, and that brought him out of it. And he's in this place of healing, realizing that he has, like, really connecting with himself, connecting with his divinity, connecting with his dreams for his life, and, like, really getting into that place of surrendering to whatever the highest outcome for the situation is. And we have contemplation as well. So he's really contemplating where to go and what to do next. And we also have observer. So he's observing. He may be observing everything that's going on with the feminine right now. And just kind of like wondering, like, what do I do? How do I get back in there? Like, does she even want me anymore? And which, I mean, she may or she may not. At this point, it seems like she's got a lot going on. But he does want this fresh start. And he does recognize that she is his twin flame. So I feel like with the big dreams, it's like he's putting out his intentions. He's really awakening and understanding and like allowing himself to dream. But he's also understanding that he needs to surrender and that there are things happening now that are beyond his control. And there's nothing he can do except possibly make his intentions be known and allow her to utilize her free will to come to whatever decision it is that she's going to come to. Yeah. Yeah, so it's interesting. For some of the feminines, this may be marriage. For some, this may be divorce. It could be a whole bunch of different things. Like, it could just be that she's coming into an inheritance or something like that. Like some sort of abundance was unlocked and now she's coming into this, but she definitely, she's definitely a bit more unsure than the masculine. Like the masculine energy really knows what he wants now. He really knows, he really sees things from a higher perspective, probably from the perspective that she was hoping he could see it from all along. But, like, is it too little too late? Like, I'm not really sure. So, let's look at, Union Energy with the Moonology deck. Union Energy for Cancer, Twin Flame, June 2020. Cancer, Twin Flame, June 2020. Union Energy. That card always comes out. I swear I shuffle these, you guys. Okay, so we have, it's time to release negativity. Adjustments are required. Work through your fears. Emotions are running high. Don't let your past hold you back. And your hard work is paying off. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have it's time to take action. So, in order for union to occur, there needs to be negativity. There needs to be negativity released. Fears need to be worked through. I mean, we've got the full and the new moon and Scorpio cards here. So there's heavy Scorpio energy here. But it's like allowing to release and purge all the stuff that needs to be released and purged. Anything negative, any negative emotions or feelings or resentments that still linger in the connection need to be cleansed and healed. And there are adjustments that will need to be made in order to move forward. There's, it's a very highly charged emotional relationship. We have this, that's the supermoon card. And there's just a lot of issues from the past that are still holding back this connection. I feel like there's karmic issues, there's ancestral issues and stuff like that are still needing to be healed as well, is what I'm feeling from the South Node card right now. But if if adjustments are made and hard work is put into the situation, like, it will pay off. It will absolutely, like, there can be something. but it's gonna take a little bit of work. I feel like yeah, I feel like it's going to take a little bit of work, and I mean, flip this for however, but as far as the two separate energies that I was reading here, on the feminine side of like, there's still some stuff that she's working through, and she may, like we saw, like she may be happier in a different place. Like there may still be some intense emotions that she hasn't wanted to address and stuff that she hasn't wanted to work through. Like she's gonna have to release the negativity and the frustration, the resentment that she still holds on to. He's gonna have to work through his fears of how he's going to be received, and just be willing to put himself out there anyway and see what happens. There are adjustments that are required. Like this may not immediately blossom into a romance. He may not be able to show up with a ring and just propose and everything's good and fine. Like there may be different adjustments required, as far as like a friendship may have to develop first. They may have to, even though he's recognized her as his twin flame, that doesn't mean that they're just going to jump back into something. Like it may not look like, expectations need to be released as well, is something that I'm hearing. Like it may not look the way that either party imagined it would look. Like there's all different ways that this relationship can evolve. When we talk about how the twin flame dynamic is redefining relationships and love and all of that, we don't just mean by like being this epic love story. We mean like how that can look all types of different ways. Like we can still unite with our twin, we can still move forward with a mission and have a relationship and not have that be the typical type of relationship. It may not even be a romantic relationship sometimes. Like the durability and the flexibility of the twin flame dynamic, when we're able to come together and really understand what unconditional love is and show each other that, like that can be really flexible, and that can look like lots of different things. So it may not look, that's part of this adjustments or required card, is it may not look the way either party thinks that it was going to look. And it definitely may not look like the way society thinks it was supposed to look. Or there's going to be a lot of adjustments around perception and perspective as far as that goes as well. And that will be work, sort of like figuring out how to relate in different types of dynamics for a while, possibly. Could possibly be some hard work for both parties, but it will be absolutely well worth it. And that may heal a lot of stuff as far as like the ancestral line goes, and the karmic stuff and all of that as well, is just that process of allowing it to evolve naturally the way that it's looking to and it's wanting to evolve. Yeah. So we had It's Time to Take Action. We also had You Are Good Enough, full moon in Virgo, and bring love into the situation. So just that self-worth, really having worked on that, that came up in the beginning of the reading, really having worked on self-worth, on trust, on all of that stuff. Like that's like that energy needs to be kept in mind moving forward, is just, loving the self, loving each other, knowing that we're worthy. Like if we don't feel that we're worthy of good things can't come to us. And if we don't love ourselves, we don't feel that we're good enough, we're always going to be reflecting that energy onto our counterpart. And so just really knowing and feeling centered in that. And then just always, it's what we talked about, bringing love into the situation. Like bringing love in, knowing that love can look like all different types of things. And just constantly going back, like releasing that negativity, working through those fears, making those adjustments. And just always doing that with love and trying to find the highest and the most loving situation possible and solution possible in any situation. So I don't know, that was a really strange reading, you guys. Hopefully that resonated with somebody. Hopefully you got something from that. Yeah, but I mean that's what was in the cards, so I guess that's what's going on. I mean, this journey can definitely be a complex and confusing one. So You know, I hate pulling out like old outdated terminology, right? Like the pop culture terminology and stuff like that, but it's like this may be one of those times where like the runner has become the chaser and vice versa, and the female is just sort of kind of like stepping back and needing some time, and the masculine's really feeling it. And so it's just like learning how to flow with that and learning how to get out of those dynamics by just coming to a place of mutual love and understanding and allowing the relationship to unfold naturally the way it's trying to unfold. And just knowing that we all have situations that we have to go through. We all have lessons that we need to learn. And so your counterpart may be going through one of those lessons right now. And it's about allowing them to do that and not taking that personally, and knowing that that's part of that journey that will eventually lead you back together in whatever way you're meant to be together. And just like releasing all the expectations of what that's supposed to look like, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at right now. So if you guys like this video, definitely give it a like. Comment if it resonated. Share this with your other Cancerian twin flames. If you are hoping to get a bonus video from Kayla and myself for this month. If you're looking for guidance with any of this absolutely, confusing and intense, highly charged emotional energy, Kayla and I both do private readings. We also both do energy healings. Energy healing can be so helpful when just always. So both of our information is in the description box below. Reach out to whoever you resonate with. We also have links to donate if you're feeling called to donate. It really helps. We really appreciate it as we're trying to anchor in this new consciousness and move forward into this new earth society where we're all doing what we love and we're all creating and we're all just living from this place of joy and abundance. Like, feel free to do that as well. And I think that's all the closing notes that I have for you guys. So I love you very much, and we will talk to you very soon.